Good morning, everyone. Bad association here. It is Monday morning. It is October 17th. I'm eating Twizzlers and a lot of cigarettes. But that's not what's important. What's important is what I found out this morning. You see, Saturday was me and my wife's 1 year anniversary of moving down here to Raleigh, North Carolina. Fucking amazing. We up and just did this and moved, and it's working out, and we're actually doing it. So it's a really good feeling. And that shows that we can do it. We weren't too young. We pretty much got our heads on straight and all that good stuff. That's not what I wanted to talk to y'all about. I mentioned that because this was our anniversary, and trying to celebrate that or whatever. I wasn't really on the computer this weekend, so I didn't see anything from you guys or from any other things like that. No trending topics, no Facebooks. So I logged on this morning, and I'm seeing this thing everywhere about this person named Ambercole. I'm thinking Amber Rose hooked up with J. Cole. And I'm like, oh shit, let me find this out. That's not a bad couple. I can see that working out. But that's because I'm a music head, so these are things that go through my head. Start looking into it more, and I come to find out that Ambercole is actually the name of a 14-year-old girl who was recorded giving oral pleasure to a male student, one of her peers. And the thing that's so shocking about it to everyone, yes, she's 14, but also that there were 3 boys there. There was one actually sitting closely beside the one who was actually receiving, and then there was a third person who was recording this. And it was on school grounds. So everyone's like, where were the teachers? Where were the parents? I can't believe she's doing this at 14. Why would they record this? Look, everyone, this is the world that we live in now. Why are you so shocked? I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. 14 years old? When I was 14, I was just going into high school. People were doing this shit already. Now, I don't know if it was just because I went to a public school. I mean, my girlfriend at the time, well, not at the time because we weren't going together yet, but, I eventually visited my wife's high school in my senior year as I graduated and visited her school, which was a quote-unquote white school. Literally, there was like 8 black people in her whole school. And, they did much worse shit. You know what I'm saying? They've been snorting coke and shit since they was like 10. Not that I'm saying that all of them do that. I'm just trying to point this out. So, yeah, so she gives head to this guy behind the school and they say she's 14. This is so wrong and everything like that. Kids got to learn somehow. And they got to learn from somewhere. And they're going to learn at some time. This is what kids are doing. If y'all didn't realize this, then you haven't been paying attention to the word for the past at least 10 years. You couldn't have been. Because this has been everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. And the funny thing is that you actually find this a lot more, well, maybe not a lot more, but a lot more than some of you would realize in the Kingdom Hall. That's right. In the Kingdom Hall, kids are doing this on a daily basis and thinking absolutely nothing of it. Why? My personal opinion is because they're sexually repressed. We're told that basically anything can be misinterpreted as sexual conduct, loose conduct, brazen conduct. Like I was watching one of these videos of a judicial committee that Dan Mara had posted up. Well, she posted up the link for it. And someone was disfellowshipped for brazen/loose conduct because he was disrespectful. So it seems like anything can come under that umbrella now. But specifically about the sexual things, you can't touch, you can't sit too close, you can't be alone, you can't have like long phone calls. I remember hearing that once when I was younger. And all that does is just make kids find other ways to do it. That's what I did. And You're gonna do it at school. You're gonna do it when your parents aren't home. You're gonna do it at Christian, well, quote unquote Christian conventions. That's right. Do you know how many children and teens are engaging in sexual acts at the convention? I'll tell you an honest story just because I'm honest with you, and I think that you should know what's going on. And just to let you know, I'm not the only one. Far from the only one. This is just to tell you what goes on. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this. A lot of you pasta buddies out there, y'all know what's going on. See, there was this convention once, and me, my best friend, another friend of ours, were planning on hooking up with these girls that we met about a year prior at a party. It was a talent party. A talent contest, I'm sorry, at a party. Gathering. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. There was a gathering. There was talent. We were there. So were the girls. Me and my boys, we danced. That's what we do. Got a lot of attention and we loved doing it. So we did it. And because of that, there were 3 girls in particular that whose eyes we caught. So start talking to them. Phone conversations, group chats, and all the things like that. We weren't really on the internet and stuff like that then, because we were younger. I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think I was probably like 16. I think I was about 16, 17. Around there, I'm trying to remember. I'm telling you that because that plays an important part later. So we're having all these conversations like, yeah, we're going to hook up, everything like that. I was supposed to hook up with this one girl. Ended up not happening. Not at the convention, just in general. We were supposed to get up before that, but it didn't really work out. And then me and her kind of lost contact for a little while. Anyways, the convention time comes. We get to the convention, and we don't really know what we're going to do yet, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, but we've been talking about hooking up with these girls. They've been talking to us, all types of things. And we get to the convention like it's going to happen. We don't even think twice about the fact that it's a convention. No one does. And the awesome thing about it is that 2 of the boys who were with me were baptized too. And they were my best friends. So, just because you're baptized, it didn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? They were still kids, still doing this. So what ends up happening is, when lunchtime hits, we find our respective girls, and we walk off, a little bit off the campus. Not even that far, honestly. Really not that far. If someone wanted to find us, they could have found us. Go off into the bushes. My boy goes off with his girl. I go off with the girl I got. My other boy goes off with some other chick somewhere else. We can't see them, but I can see my best friend further down. But I'm getting too graphic about telling you what happened. I will say that me and this chick didn't go that far. There was no oral sex. That didn't happen. There was some heavy petting, and we made out a little bit. But, honestly, truth be told, I didn't feel completely right about it at that moment. I'm not entirely sure why. It's not that I felt like I was being bad to God or something like that. I honestly thought we were going to get caught because we were so out in the open, and this was not hidden, that it was hilarious. Like, someone going to turn around this corner at any moment. So anyway, she was kind of uncomfortable too, so like I said, that's basically as far as we went. Ended up walking away. That's cool. A little bit later in the day, hook up with my boy, we talk about it, like, oh yeah, that shit was fun, blah, blah, blah. Can't wait till the next day. Remember, this is a 3-day convention. So like, yeah, next day we're going to go further, we're going to do more, all this other shit. Cool, right? Next day, my boy, not my best friend, who I was talking about originally, the other dude, remember I said there was 3 of us, me, my best friend, and our friend? Our friend says he has something to tell me, kind of on his chest. I'm like, alright, what's up? So we sit and talk, and this is the next day after, our incident. And he says, look, man, I gotta tell you something about Chick. I'm like, what? He's like, well, I think we might be getting in trouble. It's like, what? I'm thinking he's snitching. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing that. It's like, nah, it's nothing like that. He's like, well, I wanted to tell you because I felt bad because I hooked up with her before you. And I'm like, damn, dude. And I felt kind of bad at that because, I was kind of liking her. Like, we had the whole sexual tension thing and everything like that. But we was talking. We was kind of cool. So I was like, that's kind of fucked up. Explains to me how it happens. Him and my best friend hook up with those two girls. And the girl who I hooked up with the day before at the convention. Try and follow me, please. The girl that I hooked up with at the convention the day before we had this conversation is the girl who our friend hooked up with. And then the girl who my best friend was hooking up with that day was the same chick. So it's four of them. And they go to one of their houses. I don't remember whose house it was. But they go to the house, right? And they start watching the young people ass video, how to make real friends. They start watching that video. And I guess, I don't know, maybe there's some sexual undertones in it or something like that. Or just because of young kids' hormones, everyone gets horny. So they break off into two different groups. My best friend, his girl goes somewhere, and then our friend and that other chick stay in the living room. Those two who go in the living room, oral sex occurs. I won't say who gave who to what or whatever like that to keep everything ambiguous. That's what happened. Then the two on the couch, I will say that he ended up, how can I put this nicely, double clicking her mouse, I guess is how I'll say it, is what ended up happening. Now, the weird thing about this and how it all kind of coincides with this Ambercole thing, what made me think about it, see, this Ambercole girl was 14 years old. And this chick that he's hooking up with, that I hooked up with the day before we had this conversation, is telling him more. I can fit more. Whoa, right? Like, damn, I didn't even know. I was young at the time. I didn't even realize you could do that. But anyways, that's besides the point. It's telling him more. So she ends up telling him, well, he ends up telling me, we're at the convention now, and he's telling me this whole story, and I'm listening to it like, wow, man, I can't believe this happened. He's like, yeah, dude, but she's crazy, man. Like, why? He's like, because, she wanted to have sex with me. And I'm like, okay, so what's wrong with that? He's like, dude, man, I double-clicked her mouse. But, it wasn't a double-clicking. It was more of, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to say it, but, you know what I mean? She, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn. The kicker is, he's like, yo, she's fucking crazy. Don't fuck with her. Like, why? He's like, I found out how old she is. What you mean you found out how old she is? It's like, dude, she was lying about her age. What? She's telling me and him and all of us the whole time that she's 16 years old. We believe it. Body of a 16-year-old, hangs out with 16, 15-year-olds, and all of her girls corroborate the story as well. She tells him she's 12 years old. 12. 12 years old. Not even a teen. She's trying to have sex with him. You know what I'm saying? She had him double click her mouse. All up in there with it. You know what I mean? She's 12 years old. Blows my fucking mind, right? So I walk up to her in the convention. I confront her about it. And, it was funny because I don't remember exactly what I asked her, but whatever I asked her ended up in, like, yo, you should give me a high five. And I was like, nah, how about high 4.5? All me and my boy started laughing. The look on her face is priceless. And then we walk off. I say that story to say this. That was shocking to me then. And I was like 16. I'm 26 now. The world's gotten, oh my God, I almost just sound like a straight witness. I'm not saying the world's gotten worse, but people are evolving. And when I say evolving, I mean that our minds are becoming open a lot faster and at a lot younger age. And that's because of the flow of information and technology that we have now. You know, like the internet is fucking ridiculous. It's one of the greatest inventions that popped up in the past 20 some odd years. I mean, the internet allows you to have access to any information, damn near any information that you want at a moment's notice. Like that. Like, you type in something in Google, find you 58.4 million finds in 0.002 seconds. That's redonkulous. And now our minds are wired for that. We're going to accept this type of information all the time. And we want it just like that, all the time. So I say that to say, one, the whole Ambercole situation, if you're aware of it, it's not that surprising, it's not that shocking. I hope it doesn't blow up into some big media thing or something like that, because it really shouldn't. Truth be told, it might happen. She might be able to parlay this into something. I mean, look at, Kim Kardashian. You did absolutely nothing except fuck a mediocre R&B artist. And now look at you. You're famous. Your whole family's famous. Your ugly sister married an ugly NBA star. It's just rippling out. It's crazy. But, so maybe she can do that, but I hope nothing really happens because it's not that serious. But, like I said, it reminded me of what goes on in the hall. How many of us are aware of it? Because that situation that I spoke of, trust me, my two boys, and those girls were not the only ones who knew about it. Trust me. Widely known story. As a matter of fact, when that got out later, a lot of people kept getting at me, talking about, oh, I like to date young girls. Fucking kidding me? She played me. She played my boy. She played a lot of people. But after that, we made sure everyone knew what her real age was. So it kind of fucked up her game. Sorry. It is what it is. But you were fucking 12! 12! You understand what I'm saying? 12 years old. Jailbait. That's what I call it. Trying to lock niggas up. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting story to share. And a little insight into the J-Dub world that those of you who are in it may not know about. May know about. And that's just one of the examples of things that was going on that convinced me this cannot be the right organization. Because that chick ended up pioneering, getting baptized later after that. Yeah, ended up pioneering and getting baptized after that. Without ever confessing that to anyone. And, actually, kind of a ripple effect, because from that, my best friend ended up getting this fellowship. And my boy, who was our friend, ended up getting this fellowship. But not the girls. Not the girls. I don't fully understand why. Because our friend, like I said, I'm leaving names out of this. I probably should have came up with names. Me and my boy's friend, he's the one who actually went to the brothers and confessed his sins. And when he did that, he snitched on my best friend. So actually, they wasn't cool for a while. That's how they both got this fellowship. But the girls, I think, only got them public reproof or something like that. Because what ended up happening was when they left the house, some sister walking by saw all four of them together. So didn't know what they were doing, but ended up seeing them. So, she reported that to someone. So some of them came clean about some actions. Whatever. All in all, she ended up becoming a pioneer later. And now she strips. Now she's a stripper. Obviously, she doesn't go to the hall anymore. But I'm just showing you like the type of people that are coming out of this religion because they're stifled in such ways. They're told that oral and anal sex and things like that are all homoerotic acts. How? You can give oral sex to a woman. A man can give oral sex to a woman. That doesn't seem homosexual to me. Anal sex can be enjoyed by heterosexual and homosexual people. Why does it have to automatically lean towards them? Towards, the homosexuals? It's just a really tunneled way of looking at it. You know what I mean? Whoops. Sorry, kicking shit. So, I've kind of lost where I was going to go with this, but I think I've given you enough information for your heads to go, wow, or, or, damn, I didn't know I was going to tell everybody about that shit. You know what's going on in your congregation. You know what's going on in the congregation down your street. These aren't secrets. People who are still in this need to let these people know. Because I used to always feel that if everybody knew what everyone was doing, we wouldn't have a congregation. And it's funny because I found that in a lot of other congregations as well. It's one of the things that used to always keep me from getting deeper into the truth was the hypocrisy. Straight hypocrisy, just blatant hypocrisy. Utter disrespect for God's laws and his organization and things like that. But I was like, if everyone doesn't give a fuck about it, then no one can honestly be taking it that seriously. Because if you truly thought that your actions and your heart condition and what you thought would lead to everlasting destruction or, just complete total cutting off, you wouldn't do half the things that you do. You wouldn't be sitting home watching Last Action Hero. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be watching Sister Wives or whatever the fuck it is out there. You wouldn't be watching TV, period. I know. One thing that was always funny to me about what the witnesses used to say were, in judging your conscious matters or things that aren't specifically laid out in Bible law but are somewhat touched on by Bible principle is... And this is actually the first time I heard this, before it even became a bumper sticker, before it became this big saying, at least before I knew it was one. What would Jesus do? And not even so much what would Jesus do, what would Jesus say? Like if Jesus walked into your house today, would he have something to say about your upholstery? Would he have something to say about your choice of music, about your choice of television and movies? Would he have something to say about the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, your friends? Think about that before you do things, friends. That's what I used to always say, and I would think, if y'all really were worried about what Jesus was having to say, I swear there'd be two people in this congregation, and they'd both be elders. I'm just saying. So, I guess this kind of turned into more of a rant. I don't know, like I said, I had a really good weekend. I've been here for a full year, and kind of just thinking about things, so I guess some emotions kind of welled up inside of me. So that's my little rant. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something from it, were entertained. Any of the above will do. This is just me giving you some of me, which is also some of you. As a non-dude would say, life is a state of mind. Peace and love.